There we go. Fantastic bird. Thank you for the resub. Yes, thank you so much. I'm unclear why Streamlabs didn't. Oh, it did. Okay. It did. Pooverdos, thank you for the bits. Hi, Cosmic Voyager. Hi, Blackberry. Hello, Q-Man. Hi, Petey. Hi, Len. Alright. Tonight is a reading night, so get ready for that. I have a bunch of different books. Hi, Silver. The first passage that I'm going to read will be from this book called Italian Folk Magic. This passage is called Headache. Headaches are believed to almost always be a system of malacino. People prone to headaches should wear a red headband or ribbon. Vice di Sunday Silvestre, Saint Silver's ribbon. Wrapped around the head and across the forehead and temples. This incantation is repeated 3 times, and with each repetition, the healer draws an X with their index finger on the afflicted person's forehead. Sunday Dante Lu Dolore de Lu Cape. Sunday Silverstone Lu Dolore de la Teste. En nome di e di Sande Mae. Numa di e tutti vi Sande. Lu dolore si ne po za ji. Saint Donato, the headache. Saint Sylvester, the head pain. In the name of God and Saint Mary, in the name of God and all the saints, may the pain go away. May the pain go away. May the pain go away. Hi, Namor. The next passage we're going to read is from Little Critters Bedtime Storybook. Oh, here, let me show you. So for this one, there are 5 chapters. 4 of them are stories. I don't have a P.O. box, but if you'd like to send me something, I do have a wish list. Now, the day the wind stopped blowing. Quit turning the light on, said Little Critter. But I'm scared, said Little Sister. Of what? The wind, said Little Sister. It's blowing so hard that it's scaring me. I need the light on when I'm scared. But I can't sleep with it on, said Little Critter. He thought for a moment. Then he said, did you ever hear the story of the day the wind stopped blowing? No, said Little Sister. Will you tell me? Sure, said Little Critter, and he began. Hi, Momo. Once upon a time, the wind blew even harder than he does now. Why did he blow so hard? Asked little sister. It made him feel good, said little critter. He would blow so hard that birds had trouble flying and people had trouble walking. I Sometimes he even blew the roofs right off the houses, and people couldn't have picnics because all the food would get blown away. As time went by, people got tired of the wind blowing so hard. They began complaining to the king. Why? The king didn't do anything, said little sister. No, but he was the king, and the king was supposed to fix everything, answered little critter. Oh, said little sister. Hi, Zero Cool. Momo. They're blowing a lot of stuff away. It's hard to walk. It's hard to get around. This side first. And then this side. And the king. The king tried his best to stop the wind, said little critter. He had a high wall built around the kingdom, but the wind blew so hard that the wall fell down. Next, the king sent the royal army out to stop the wind, but the wind blew them back. Hi, Q-Man. The king got mad and threw a temper tantrum, but that didn't do any good either. I do that sometimes, said little sister. Does it do any good? asked Little Critter. Sometimes, said Little Sister. Little Critter went on. Well then, the king had signs tacked up on all the trees, offering a huge reward to anyone who could get the wind to stop blowing. But the wind blew the signs down before anyone could see them. It sounds like it was mean, said Little Sister. No, he wasn't, said Little Critter. I told you, blowing hard made him feel good. He didn't know he was causing trouble. Anyway, it just so happened that one of the signs blew right into the little house of a little mouse and landed in his soup. After he had gotten over his surprise, the mouse pulled the sign and read it. He thought, I'll go to the palace and tell the king that I will get the wind to stop blowing. Did the mouse know how to do that? Asked Little Sister. He wasn't sure, said Little Critter, but he was tired of having things blown into his soup, and he hoped to win the reward money. He was a poor mouse. Oh, said Little Sister. I heard D on the mouse part. There he is. I guess we can see how that went. When the mouse arrived at the palace and told the king his plans, the king just laughed at him. He didn't believe a little mouse could succeed where a king had failed, so he threw the mouse out of the castle. Well, now the mouse was really mad. He was more determined than ever to find the wind and to get him to stop blowing. He set out that very day. He walked for miles. The wind was blowing harder and harder. And it wasn't easy for the mouse to stay on his feet. So he knew he was going the right way. Finally, he got to the wind's house and knocked on the door. How did he know? Asked Little Sister. Know what? Said Little Critter. Hi, Jose. that the wind lived there, said Little Sister. It was a good guess, said Little Critter. Anyway, the wind didn't get a lot of visitors, so he invited the little mouse in. How come the wind didn't have visitors? Little Sister wanted to know. Because people like you thought he was mean. Now be quiet and listen. Hi, category. The little mouse was tired and mad, so he didn't waste any time. He yelled at the wind and told him what a nuisance he was. He told him not to blow anymore because no one appreciated being knocked around. He said he was acting like a bully and a meanie. What did the wind do? Well, the wind was very surprised to hear all of this, and his feelings were hurt. Oh, DG, I herb smoke. Without saying a word, the wind went upstairs and closed the door. After the wind left, the little mouse noticed that the air had become very still. Not even a tiny breeze was blowing. Hooray! I did it. I got the wind to stop, he thought. Thank you, Messi. Everybody definitely check me out Thursdays at 5:30 or 5. Yes, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Show You What You Got show. Hi, Scripps. Thank you, Xavier. Yeah, I think it'll be even better this Thursday. I'm gonna fix one of my buttons. I kept pressing one of these buttons and it didn't work, and I was like, oh man, come on. But very pleased with himself, the little mouse started back to the castle to collect his reward. But along the way, he noticed how hot it was now that there was no wind. And because there was nothing to blow the clouds away, it started to rain. No boats were moving on the ocean because there was no wind to move the sails. No kites were flying. Nobody looked happy. When the sweaty little mouse marched into the throne room and demanded his reward, Little Critter continued, the king glared at him. He wasn't convinced that the mouse had been the one who made the wind stop. And besides, he thought things were even worse than before. He threatened to put the mouse in the dungeon. This time, the mouse didn't wait to get tossed out. He ran out of the castle as fast as he could, all the way back to the wind's house. He knocked and he knocked, but the wind wouldn't come to the door. Finally, the wind peeked out of an upstairs window and said, "Go away. Nobody likes me." The mouse asked the wind to come down so they could talk things over. He apologized for being so rude before and told the wind how important he was to everyone. Thank you, Jason. The wind cheered up a little. He agreed to start blowing again. So long as every once in a while he was allowed to blow as hard as he liked. The mouse stayed for a while and helped the wind to practice blowing until he knew what was just right and what was too hard. Bessie. The little mouse went back to the king and demanded his reward again, said Little Critter. The king just laughed and laughed. But suddenly, the sky grew dark and a great big storm blew right into the castle. castle. The king turned white as a sheet. Why, no, he muttered. I was laughing because I'm so happy to give him a big reward. Be sure that you do, boomed the wind, who winked at his friend and then blew himself home. The king, true to his word, gave the little mouse a big reward and made him the official royal weather mouse. And everyone was happy most of the time, except when the wind decided not to blow at all, or when he blew as hard as he could. You see, everyone learned that the wind is friendly and not scary at all. Is that the end of the story? Asked Little Sister. Yes. Now go to sleep, said Little Critter. Do you think the wind likes me? Little Sister asked. He likes you at least as much as I do, answered Little Critter. Okay then, said Little Sister. She turned off the light and settled down. Good night, wind, she whispered. Good night. Wonko teasing. Wonko, thank you for resolving. Thank you so much. Hi, Ryan. Thank you. All right. The next book we're going to read an excerpt from is my first book of planets. as the Earth travels around the sun, it is also spinning like a top. It takes one day and one night for the Earth to spin around once. Hi, nice. During the day, your side of the Earth is facing the sun. During the night, your side of the Earth is facing away from the sun. The sun is always shining, even though we cannot always see it. When it is night, the sun is shining on the other side of the earth. When it is snowing or raining, the sun is still shining above the clouds. None of the planets has light of its own. They all get their light from the suns. I guess we'll find out how accurate this is. What year? This is one of the little golden books. I don't know if this was. I know they had this at least in the U.S. and Canada. I don't know if it's like an international thing, but yeah, they have a lot of books. They're called the little golden books, and you know that they are because they have this usually gold side. You know, on the edge, it's like a gold sticker. So, but here we go. Oh, what year? Copyright 1985. Alright, so this was written in 1985. Nice. Is this a republishing? How old is this book? I don't even know. Ooh, La Verdeliers. What? Look at the tag. Air. La Verdeliers. Hi, Blues. Yeah. Well, I was under the impression that I bought this when I did more reading streams. So, yeah, I got a lot of books for pretty cheap. So, but let's check out the planets. Mercury is very hot. The closest planet to the sun. Mercury goes around the sun in 88 days. Venus is about the same size as Earth. Sometimes we can see Venus at night just after the sun has set. Mars is just beyond Earth. There are craters, canyons, and deserts on the surface of Mars. Jupiter is the largest planet. All the other planets could fit inside Jupiter. Saturn is the second largest planet. The rings around Saturn are made of pieces of ice. Some pieces are as big as a house. Some are smaller than grains of sand. It takes Uranus 84 years to go around the sun. Neptune was discovered in 1846. It has 2 moons that revolve around it. High tech. Pluto is the smallest planet. It is very far from the sun. From Pluto, the sun looks like a bright star. The Earth has 1 moon. It is our nearest neighbor in space. We can sometimes see it when we look up into our sky. The moon has no light of its own. Light from the sun bounces off the moon's surface. I like. Wouldn't it be funny if you were a time traveler and like Pluto's not a planet? Oh no, this is not 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. go live. Oh. Let me grab my phone real quick and I'll do it for the bot. Thank you for letting me know, Bloops. I know some people watch that for when I'm live. They don't have their Twitch notifications on. So, yeah, you have to manually go in and update your notification settings to get notified from Twitch that I'm going live. Hi, Maj. Today I left my house, which is something I don't often do, but it was very exciting. Hi, Mr. Coffee Break. I voted and got a flu shot. Yeah, and my flu shot was at a grocery store. So I went grocery shopping at a grocery store. So I have a bunch of trash food. Yeah. Yeah, I got some crackers and dip and a pumpkin. I remember I really wanted to have a pumpkin for Halloween, but I couldn't find a place that would deliver one for like under $50. Yeah. So I got a pumpkin today for like $1.50. I think it was $2 actually, but yeah. And I got my candy corn and the candy pumpkins, which start growing that. Well, the pumpkin that I bought is actually a pie pumpkin, so I'm gonna look at it for a couple of weeks, and then for Thanksgiving I'm gonna eat it. So I'm gonna turn it into a pie. Yeah, so I purposely picked a pie pumpkin so I can enjoy it and then eat it. They're slightly less aesthetically pleasing than the ones that would be really terrible and gross, like the decorative ones. The decorative ones are particularly pretty, but a lot of the decorative ones are the worst. So, tasting. Yeah. Mr. Coffee Break, thank you for the resub. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. But I also picked up beer. I have beer. Delicious. The last time I had beer was like August. I don't know. I heard this wild story today that I need to look into, and if it's true, I might feature it on the Show Me What You Got show. There was a woman who had a rescue pig, and she didn't realize that the rescue pig knew how to break out of its pen. So every night the rescue pig would break out of its pen and go into the neighbors' yards, and it started stealing their pumpkins and bringing it back to her yard and eating them. So this was like one of those cute neighborhoods. Then they had a neighborhood watch, and they thought some teenagers were stealing the pumpkins. Yeah, and so they found out it was a pig. So the lady had to go around and tell everybody sorry. But the kids thought it was so cool that they started bringing their pumpkins to the pig to watch the pig eat them. And then apparently they turned this event into a charity thing, because apparently all these kids bringing their pumpkins to the pig, well, the pig eats them and then technically plants the seeds because he rolls all in it. So the next year there was pumpkins in the pen, and they said that the next year they had so many pumpkins from the pig pumpkins and people bringing pumpkins that they started a charity where they feed the pumpkins to rescue pigs. Hi, Boxy. But some people disagree with this, but I think it's really easy to grow pumpkins. you just kind of throw the seeds and forget about them. Sometimes if you throw your pumpkins into the woods near your house, pumpkins will grow there in the next year. So, hi Izzy. Yeah, Moxie. Okay. Here's an excerpt from One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. We see them come, we see them go. Some are fast, some are slow. Some are high, some are low. Not one of them is like another. Don't ask us why. Go ask your mother. Say, look at his fingers. Look at his fingers. 1, 2, 3. How many fingers do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 11. 11. This is something new. I wish I had 11 too. Bump, bump, bump. Did you ever ride a wump? We have a wump with just one hump. But we know a man called Mr. Gump. Mr. Gump has a 7-hump wump. So, if you like to go bump bump, just jump on the hump of the wump of Gump. Who am I? My name is Ned. I do not like my little bed. This is no good. This is not right. My feet stick out of bed all night. And when I pull them in, oh dear, my head sticks out of bed up here. We like our bike. It is made for 3. Our Mike sits up in back, you see. We like our Mike, and this is why Mike does all the work when the hills get high. Where's my mic? Is that something you get at a bar or a pet store? Inquiring minds. Hello there, Ned. How do you do? Tell me, what is new? How are things in your little bed? What is new? Please tell me, Ned. I do not like this bed at all. All of the things have come to call. A cow, a dog, a cat, a mouse. Oh, what a bed. Oh, what a house. Oh dear, I cannot hear. Will you please come over near? Will you please look in my ear? There must be something there, I fear. Say, look, a bird is in your ear, but he is out, so have no fear. Again, your ear can hear, my dear. Oh, why not, Zero Cool? Hi, Neptune. Each ASMR that I do is different. I probably do reading streams. Maybe like once every 4 months or something like that. Well, that's not exactly true. The ones of this nature with the children's stories, I do like once to twice a year, and then I'll do regular books occasionally. So, so the Disney book, 10 of your favorite stories. What's your favorite Disney story? If it's in here, I might read it. This is a really old book. What? Okay. Well, some of these stories, it lists earlier copyright. But This book has a copyright of 1971, so it's slightly older. 70s, huh? That's interesting because as of the 70s, well, I can't think of a single original story that Disney had before it acquired other things. So it's funny that they have copyrights. They have copyrights on multiple folk tales. Yeah. Well, thank you, Neptune. Oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel where I archive my ASMR streams. So I'll put this one up on there too. Good night, Booverdas. Thank you for sharing that link, Blackberry. Yeah, the second one, I mean, obviously it's ASMR Soma, so the second one is my ASMR, and the first one is crazy. When I do musicals. So okay, so this book has this book has Bambi, no, Snow White, Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, The Jungle Book, Cinderella, Three Little Pigs, The Aristocrats, or Aristocats rather, 101 Dalmatians, and Pinocchio. Which one do you want to hear? Don't pick Pinocchio, it's super long. I'm actually interested about the story of the Aristocrats too. I don't know what that's about. 60? The Aristocats. Here we go. First edition of Peter Pan. What year is that from? That's a really old book, right? Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat, was on his way to Paris. 1911. O'Malley was enjoying himself, as he usually did. This is already ridiculous, a cat going to Paris. What? He liked broad boulevards, but he also liked narrow alleys. He liked mornings and evenings and most of what happened in between. Now he was pleased by the cool look of the little stream that ran beside the country road. All of a sudden, O'Malley stopped and stared. There beside the stream sat the most beautiful cat he had ever seen. She looked up at O'Malley, but she said not a word.
"I'm O'Malley,"
said the alley cat.
"and what might your name be?"
The other cat lowered her blue eyes and curled her white tail around her feet and sighed a most unhappy sigh. "I'm Duchess," she told him. O'Malley wondered what on earth she was sighing about. Duchess was a lovely name, and she was a lovely cat. He quickly told her so. Mr. Coffee Break, thank you for gifting that sub. She was not interested. "Please, Mr. O'Malley," she said, "I am in great trouble. Would you be so kind as to show me the way to Paris?"
"Show you the way?"
O'Malley grinned his widest grin.
"I won't show you the way,"
he said.
"I'll take you there."
"You will?" said the beautiful white cat. "Hoo-hoo," squeaked a high little voice behind O'Malley. "That will be wonderful." O'Malley turned and saw a fluffy white kitten who looked very much like Duchess. "This is Marie," said Duchess. A tan kitten and a gray kitten scampered up. "And here are Toulouse and Berlois," Duchess announced. "These are my children." O'Malley felt his whiskers wilt. It had not entered his head that the beautiful cat might have a family to look after. Still, he had promised to take her to Paris, and he would do it, kittens and all. "Which way, Mr. O'Malley?" asked Duchess.
"Oh, you're not gonna walk?"
said O'Malley. "We aren't," said the Duchess. "Then how shall we get there?"
"On a magic carpet,"
declared O'Malley.
"You hide beside the road and you'll see."
So the Duchess and her kittens hid. O'Malley climbed up into a tree and watched the road. And presently, a magic carpet came into sight. It did not look a bit like a carpet. Actually, it was a truck. But O'Malley decided it would do. He leaped from his tree, landed on the hood of the truck, and yowled. He drew. The driver screamed, and the truck skidded and stopped. O'Malley jumped to the ground. "Quick!" he cried to the Duchess. "Get in!" And before the driver could start his truck again, Duchess and her kittens were hidden in the back, along with O'Malley. A moment later, they were jouncing merrily towards Paris. Most happily, the truck turned out to be a milk truck, so the cats had a good breakfast. Nothing lasts forever. The driver soon discovered that 5 cats were lapping cream in the back of his truck. He stopped again, and he screamed again. He threw several heavy objects. "What a horrible person!" exclaimed the Duchess, after the man had rattled away in his truck. O'Malley was not upset.
Humans can be like that.
He told Duchess.
Some of them dig cats, and some of them don't.
"My friend, Madame is not like that," said Duchess. "Madame loves us," put in little Marie. "She says we're her greatest treasures."
She's a human?
asked O'Malley. "But of course," said Duchess. O'Malley knew then that Duchess was what Duchess was. She was an aristo cat. Aristo cats lived in houses and slept on velvet cushions. They knew a great deal about behaving properly, but not much about getting along in the world. They depended on humans for that. "I wish we were at home now with Madame and Edgar," Marie whimpered. "Edgar is Madame's butler," Duchess told O'Malley. "He takes good care of us."
If Madame loves you so much, and Edgar takes such good care of you, how did you get lost way out here in the country?
asked O'Malley. Duchess looked troubled. "I don't know," she admitted. "Last night, we went to sleep in our basket outside Madame's bedroom. This morning, we woke up next to that little river. It is bewildering."
Maybe it isn't as bewildering as all that, said O'Malley. Maybe Madame decided she had had it with cats. Maybe she's going on for canaries, or goldfish, or something.
"Impossible." Duchess was indignant. "Only yesterday, Madame made her will. We are to be her heirs, and Edgar will be our guardian."
And if anything were to happen to you?
asked the Canny Alley cat. "Then Edgar would inherit Madame's money," said Duchess. "He has served Madame for many years."
Ha, said O'Malley. So the butler had good reason for getting rid of the aristo cats.
Just then, a field mouse scampered across the road in front of the cat. "Look, Mama," cried Marie. "A mouse. Why doesn't it stop and talk with us?" "He is a country mouse, my darling," said Duchess. "He does not know us as Monsieur Roquefort does."
Monsieur Roquefort is the nicest mouse, said Berlioz. He lives behind the wall in Madame's drawing room.
For once in his life, O'Malley was speechless. So these cats hobnobbed with a mouse? It was incredible. It was against nature. O'Malley was all for stopping another truck so they can continue their journey in comfort, but Duchess wouldn't hear of it. I think drivers do not wish passengers, she said. We will walk. Walk they did. They walked all day, and by the time they reached Paris, it was quite dark, and the kittens were staggering with weariness.
Madame's house is near the boys,
said Duchess. O'Malley looked at the kittens. That's still a long way, he said. The kids'll never make it. Look, I've got a little place near here. It's kind of a penthouse pad. Why not stay over tonight and go on home in the morning? Burley sat down on the pavement and went to sleep. I suppose that would be best, agreed Duchess. She nudged Burley's awake, and the aristocrats followed O'Malley down a side street, through a broken door, and up 2 flights of stairs. Then they were out on the rooftops, which O'Malley loved. He led the way past crumbling chimneys until they came to a skylight that had very little glass left in it. A shrill blast of music flared out at them. Uh-oh, said O'Malley. That's Scat Cat. A friend of yours? Said Duchess. The greatest, said O'Malley. But he didn't look happy. Usually nothing pleased him more than to have Scat Cat and his gang drop in. However, Duchess and her kittens were tired. They needed peace and quiet, not a jam session. And Scat Cat was an extremely tough character. What would aristocrat Duchess think of him? O'Malley need not have worried. Aristocrat Duchess had beautiful manners. She said she would love to see O'Malley's penthouse pad and to meet his friends. The pad was only a dusty attic, but Duchess didn't notice this. She said good evening to Scat Cat. He stopped tooting his battered brass horn and beamed at her. She greeted Scat Cat's friends, the cat who played the piano and the cat who plucked the bass violin, and the cat who strummed the guitar. She told them she liked their mad music. They laughed, and they played louder and louder and faster. O'Malley watched and listened and enjoyed. And he thought warm thoughts about aristocrats in general. And Duchess in particular. When Scat Cat and his group finished playing, they went out through the skylight, and the Aristocats settled to sleep in a sag old bed in the corner of the attic. O'Malley slept very little. O'Malley was worried. What would happen when Duchess returned to Madame? The next day, O'Malley went with the Duchess and the kittens to the elegant old house near the boys. He had made up his mind. He wanted a good look at Edgar, the butler. O'Malley hid behind the gatepost and watched as Duchess and the kittens mewed at the door. The butler came out. It seemed to O'Malley that the man was overjoyed to see the Aristocats. He uttered glad little cries and welcomed them in. Then the door closed on them. So all was well. Or was it? O'Malley began to pace up and down. He had not paced long before a small, excited mouse scooted through the gate.
O'Malley, O'Malley,
said the mouse. O'Malley guessed this must be Roquefort. What's up? Said the cat.
Edgar did it,
Cried the mouse.
He's the one who stole Duchess and the kittens. He's put them in a sack. He's called the express company. He's going to ship them to Timbuktu. Duchess told me to get O'Malley.
O'Malley's eyes gleamed with yellow fire. You go find Scat Cat and his gang, he told the mouse.
Scat Cat?
Quavered poor little Roquefort. He's an alley cat, said O'Malley. He lives on the left bank. Tell him O'Malley sent you, and you won't have a bit of trouble. Roquefort scampered off, looking quite worried, and O'Malley went through the gate and around the back door where he hid. Soon the door opened and the butler came out. He was carrying a sack, which wriggled and meowed. Don't cry, the butler told the sack. You're going on a nice trip. Then I'll inherit Madame's money. O'Malley trailed the butler across the garden to the carriage house, where a pretty little mare was munching oats. The mare stared at O'Malley. Then he stared at Edgar, who hauled a truck out of a corner and put a sack into it. Hey, Nell. Hey, T. Wallace. O'Malley felt he could not wait for Scat Cat. The time had come for action. He leapt at Edgar. The butler shouted and fell, but he got up again and snatched a pitchfork. He chased O'Malley into a corner. Then he threw open the door that led from the carriage house out to the back lane. O'Malley's heart leaped, for in the lane stood a small, excited mouse, surrounded by a number of large, excited cats. The cats promptly swarmed into the carriage house and all over Edgar. Maja-san, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the tip. Thank you. cats promptly swarmed into the carriage house and all over Edgar. With the wicked Edgar bested by cats, O'Malley came out of his corner and got to work on the truck. In seconds, he had the lid up and was helping Duchess claw her way free of the sack. The little mare reared and kicked at her stall, and the door crashed open. Duchess and her kitten scrambled out of the trunk as Scat Cat yelled, "One side!" The alley cats then tumbled Edgar into the trunk. Bang! Down the lid of the trunk. For the first time, the little mare spoke.
Let me.
She said. She turned her hindquarters towards the trunk and kicked. The trunk slid out through the open door of the carriage house and came to rest in the lane. A few minutes later, the truck from the express company came chugging along. It stopped, and two men climbed out and loaded the trunk into the truck. As they drove away, O'Malley chuckled.
I hope Edgar likes Timbuktu,
he said. The cats and the mouse and the mare prated across the garden and mewed and squeaked and whinnied at the back door until Madame came down to let them in. Madame was so happy to see Duchess and the kittens that she cried. She invited Duchess's new friends in for a nice bowl of cream. O'Malley enjoyed it. He enjoyed it so much that he never again left the old house near the boys or the madam or Duchess and the kittens. As for Edgar, he never came back. This is not surprising. Timbuktu is a long way from Paris. Hi, Meadow. This is a book called Cookie Monster's Good Time to Eat. Doing pretty good. This book is banned, and you can't, and you'll see why. But this book is awesome. Here we go. It's morning. Good time to eat. It's a good time to eat breakfast. It's playtime. Good time to eat. It's a good time to eat a picnic lunch. Q man, thank you for the tip. Thank you so much. Hi, Anamor. Thank you. It's afternoon. Good time to eat. Good time to eat snacks. It's evening. Good time to eat. It's a good time to eat dinner. One. It's nighttime. Good time to eat. Cookies. You know, one day, I never noticed that, yeah, like Bird is like sleeping. He's taking a nap. Why was it banned? Cookie Monster was taken off of Sesame Street because he's a bad influence. Yeah, Cookie Monster was really taken up before Sesame Street was acquired by HBO, when it was still on public television. Cookie Monster, I think, was the first of the Sesame Street puppets that was banned. No, I think it was actually Eeyore? No, not Eeyore. Snuffy. That was his name. Big Bird had an imaginary friend. They got rid of him. He was a giant woolly mammoth. Yeah, and then they got rid of Cookie Monster. And then they got rid of Oscar the Grouch because he was a jerk. Yeah. Oscar is probably my second favorite character, but obviously Cookie Monster is first. But I can see why they got rid of that character. Because I feel like kids are going to run into assholes soon enough, right? So yes, y'all might have seen Meadow on Show Me What You Got. Was that yesterday? Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't think they banned the worms. I think they just don't bring them out that often. Oh, one of my favorite puppets are those things that are like Yeah, but no, Oscar the Grouch, it's not a way to be, you know. You don't have to always be a bad time and mad and, you know. Yeah. Yeah, they still sell all of the merch, clearly. Well, now Sesame Street is owned by HBO, so I haven't seen the show since it's been on HBO. Maybe they'll bring back Oscar the Grouch and make him less grouchy. This is an excerpt from Frog and Toad Together. Have you ever read any of the Frog and Toad books? They're amazing. There's Toady. Would you want him back less grouchy? If they could find a way to, if they used it as a teaching tool, you know? Be like, hey, Mr. Grouch, maybe it's not the best idea to, put everybody down. You guys, we are way less sensitive to Oscar the Grouch because we were all raised by boomers, so that's pretty much our parents. But like kids today, they have enough stuff going on. They don't need that. A list. One morning, Toad sat in bed. I have many things to do, he said. Oh, wait. This isn't the one I meant to read. Hang on. I want to read Willpower. Cookies. Yes. Cookies. Cookies is a good one. All right. Cookies. Cookies. Toad baked some cookies. These cookies smell really good, said Toad. He ate one. And they taste even better, he said. Toad ran to Frog's house. Frog, Frog, cried Toad. Taste these cookies that I have made. Frog ate one of the cookies. These are the best cookies I have ever eaten, said Frog. Hi, Hattigan. Hi, Snag. Frog and Toad ate many cookies, one after another. You know, Toad, said Frog, with his mouth full,
I think we should stop eating, or we will soon be sick.
You're right, said Toad. Let us eat one last cookie, and then we will stop. Frog and Toad ate one last cookie. There were many cookies left in the bowl. Frog, said Toad, let us eat one very last cookie, and then we will stop. Frog and Toad ate one very last cookie. We must stop eating, cried Toad as he ate another.
Yes,
Said Frog, reaching for another cookie.
we need willpower.
What is willpower? Asked Toad.
Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do,
Said Frog. You mean like trying not to eat all of these cookies?
Right,
Said Frog. Frog put the cookies in a box.
there.
He said,
Now we will not eat any more cookies.
But we can open the box.
said Toad.
That is true.
Said Frog. Frog tied some string around the box.
There.
He said,
Now we will not eat any more cookies.
But we can cut the string and open the box.
said Toad.
That is true.
Said Frog. Frog got a ladder. He put the box up on a high shelf.
There.
Said Frog.
Now we will not eat any more cookies.
Hey, Elf.
But we can climb the ladder and take the box down from the shelf and cut the string and open the box.
Said Toad.
That is true.
Said Frog. Frog climbed the ladder and took the box down from the shelf. He cut the string and he opened the box. Frog took the box outside. He shouted in a loud voice,
Hey! Birds! Here are cookies!
Birds came from everywhere. They picked up all the cookies in their beaks and flew away.
Now we have no more cookies to eat, said Toad sadly. Not even one. Yes, said Frog. But we have lots and lots of willpower.
You may keep it all, Frog, said Toad. I'm going home now to bake a cake.
Yes, I will be putting this on my ASMR YouTube, and when I do, I'll check and see if there's been ASMRs that I forgot to put on my YouTube in between. Okay. Yep, so part of the reason why I'm reading excerpts from the books and not the full books is because of the copyright thing, so yeah, I'm pretty up with what you can and can't do. So if any of you ever have any questions about what you can and can't do, especially on Twitch, I believe the next time I do a reading stream, it's going to be a reading of the TOS. So I do TOS readings occasionally when they make a big change or when they make a series of small changes and it's been enough time. So they've made a lot of small changes since the last time we've read the Twitch Terms of Service. So probably not this month because I have special ASMRs planned for this month. But December will probably be our next reading stream. This is an excerpt from the New Comprehensive American Rhyming Dictionary. Marked, parked, sparked, debarked, embarked, earmarked, postmarked, pockmarked, remarked, disembarked, double spark, watermark. Sparkle, hierarchical, matriarchal, oligarchical, patriarchal. Arkin, barkin, darkin, harkin, markin, parkin, sparkin, debarkin and barkin, remarkin, double parkin, disembarkin, valet parkin. Sleighs, slays, spays, stays, sprays, strays, sways, smays, trays, trays, ways, ways, yays. Eel. Deal, eel, feel, heel, heel, kneel, kneel, meal, peel, peel, reel, reel, seal, steal, steal, spiel, squeal, sheel, teal, veal, wheel, 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 zeal. High potential. Thank you so much. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, it's been a good week. Earring. Clearing, fearing, hearing, cheering, leering, nearing, peering, shearing, steering, spearing, smearing, sneering, tearing, tearing, veering. Bitter pill, bar and grill, Benadryl, cut and fill, chlorophyll, codicil, Cope de Ville, daffodil, degree mill, diet pill, dollar bill, dress to kill, fit to kill, fill the bill, game of skill, GI Bill, Jack and Jill, Jacksonville, Louisville, lumber mill, lactoril, mercandle, mercy kill, overkill, on the pill, pen and quill, pepper mill, rumor mill, shoot to kill, sleep and kill, take a pill, through the mill, windowsill, whippoorwill, water pill, barbecue grill, Beverly Hills, Battle of Wills, Buffalo Bill, Capitol Hill, Diploma Mill, Grease for the Mill, King of the Hill, License to Kill, Over the Hill, Run of the Mule, Skill of the Gills, $2 bill, Treasury bill, vitamin pill, Seal B. DeMille, green around the gills. Flopping, hopping, lopping, mopping, popping, propping, sopping, slopping, shopping, stopping, swapping, topping, whopping. Car hopping, clip dropping, dump mopping, stopping, ear popping, eavesdropping, flip flopping, hip hopping, heart stopping, curb plopping, name dropping, outcropping, sharecropping, show stopping, wife swapping. Airdrops, bus stops, big tops, bell hops, bar hops, box tops, co-ops, car hops, cough drops, cyclops, door stops, damp mops, e-stops, eye drops, eavesdrops, flip-flops, flat tops, gun drops, hard tops, name drops, pawn shops, piss stops, pork chops, rest stops, rooftops, raindrops, sweatshops, stock hops, snock shops, stovetops, teardrops, treetops, truck stops, workshops, body shops, barber shops, belly flops, coffee shops, Gottle stops, Keystone cops, knockout drops, lick one's drops, lollipops, lemon drops, malaprops, mountain tops, tabletops, window shops, whistle stops. I do have flow, yes. Cooling, drooling, fooling, fueling, pooling. Calling, dolling, lolling, mulling, shelling. Coolish, foolish, ghoulish, foolish, schoolish. Cult, adult, consult, exalt, insult, occult, penult, result, tumult, catapult, difficult, end result, young adult. Personality cult. Oh yeah. When was it? 7 days later. They actually have free rhyming dictionaries online. So there's really no need for this book nowadays. But yeah. Without this, you wouldn't have strain, skein, stain, swain, slain, stain, Spain, sane, sprain, train, twain, vein, 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 wane. Eye strain, food chain, free rein, freight train, fast lane, germain, gross grain, Great Dane, gold chain, humane, harebrain, insane, in vain, insane, left brain, Lorraine, lame brain, mundane, membrane, migraine, maintain, Mark Twain, mule train, obtain, ordain, octane, pertain, pea-brain, potamane, plain Jane, profane, propane, right brain, refrain, restrain, regain, remain, retain, romaine, raise cane, slow lane, seaplane, spill plane, sustain, terrestriane, tirane, terrain, urbane, Ukraine, unchain. Pensive, contensive, defensive, expensive, extensive, intensive, ostensive, offensive, apprehensive, comprehensive, hypersensitive, insensitive, repropensitive, repropensitive, offensive, incomprehensible, labor intensive. Wicks, admix, affix, broomsticks, conflicts, card tricks, chopsticks, cake mix, drumsticks, depicts, deep six, evicts, gold bricks, hand picks, ice picks, lipsticks, matchsticks, nitpicks, oil sticks, predicts, pinpricks, quick fix, restricts, rope tricks, toothpicks, transfix, unclicks, bag of tricks. Guys, highs, lies, lies, pies, pies, prize, pies, rise, rise, ties, lies, shies,
spies, sighs, skies, ties, tries, thighs, vies, vies, wise, wise, advise, assize, arise, apprise, applies, allies, baptize, bye-byes, blue skies, belies, capsize, comprise, chastise, clockwise, complies, crosswise, despise, to reprise, deep fries, describes. Bolt, colt, dolt, jolt, molt, deadbolt, revolt, unbolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Air horn, airborne, adorn, acorn, bullhorn, bighorn, careworn, forsworn, forewarned, firstborn, foghorn, forlorn, freeborn, French horn, greenhorn, highborn, inborn, lovelorn, longhorn, newborn, outwards, popcorn, pre-worn, reborn, shopworn, shoehorn, tin horn, time worn, untorn, unshorn, unsworn, unborn, well-worn, barklorn, Capricorn, ear of corn, early morn, fuel horn, foreign-born, Matterhorn, native-born, peppercorn, unicorn, unadorned, weather-worn, around the horn, toot one's horn to the matter of born, Tropic of Capricorn. Bugging, chugging, drugging, hugging, lugging, mugging, plugging, shrugging, slugging, tugging. Blurtable, flirtable, crittable, hurtable, hurtable, skirtable, spurtable, wordable. Bussing, cussing, bussing, mussing, trussing, discussing. Bucks, crux, chucks, clucks, ducks, flux, lux, lux, plucks, plucks, shrucks, shucks, schmucks, tucks, trucks, trucks. Ah, shucks, big bucks, deluxe, bum clucks, dump trucks, fire trucks, influx, lame ducks, mucklucks, potlucks, sawbucks, upchucks, woodchucks, hookery pucks, $1,000,000, megabucks, tummy tucks. Books, brooks, glooks, crooks, hooks, looks, nooks, rooks, schnooks, schnooks. Airing. Thank you, Diego. Airing, bearing, blaring, bearing, caring, chairing, daring, airing, faring, flaring, glaring, herring, pairing, scaring, swearing, squaring, tearing, wearing, ball bearing, comparing, declaring, despairing, ensnaring, forswearing, forbearing, impairing, long wearing, outwearing, outstaring, preparing, repairing, red herring, seafaring, tailbearing, uncaring, unerring, overbearing, revenue sharing.
share with you this evening. Now sleep, sleep, Thank you for the tips. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for subbing. Thank you to all of my mods. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you're already asleep. Sleep, sleep, dream of me tonight and check me out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Thursday. Watch me on Thursday, where Show Me What You Got is going to be on the main page of Twitch. So it'll be like one of my regular shows, and then all of a sudden there will be 10,000 people watching. And that's how you'll know that we're on the main page during that moment. So, I love you. Take care of yourself.